All right. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Justin Bondietti. I'm a Grant Cardone licensee. I'm here with Ryan Tompot. He's a awesome realtor out of Ohio, rocking it, helping people out over there. Ryan, how can people get in touch with you? Do you have like a cell phone number or email or something like that? Or are you on social anywhere where they can reach out to you if they want to get more information?
Yeah, I mean, the easiest thing is just go into Google and type Ryan Tompot Real Estate, and it'll pop up. My number's there, but it's 440-343-2515 is my direct line. Ryan Tompot at kw.com is an email address. My website is theakronhomepro.com. LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. I'm all there.
Wonderful. Awesome, man. Yeah, you're just everywhere. And that's
You
what
gotta be.
Yeah, that's what we talked in an earlier segment about, like trying to stay in touch with people, get in touch with folks because they got things going on and they might want to do business with you, but like they got things going on, right? So you're using all those avenues to try to like get in touch with them and keep in contact with them, right? But today we're talking about Grant, what Grant says about reasons why people don't do business with you and what you can do about them. And the two things I wanted to talk about with you today in regards to the realtor and the real estate profession is hey, they have problems right now. Like they have one problem going on, maybe somebody's in the hospital, maybe something's going on like that. It's massive. It's so huge that they can't even take 10 seconds to consider what you're saying or what you're doing. Right. And then the other thing is they have instability within like maybe their family or their work situation. There's just instability and they can't commit. So Ryan, I just wanted to talk with you about those two items. And hey, have you ever experienced a situation, or if you know somebody that's experienced a situation where they just can't figure out why this person's not contacting them, they're not getting back with them, they're like what we call ghosting, right? They're ghosting me. Have you ever experienced that?
Yeah, it happens all the time. I talk to a seller that wants to sell his home. We have a great conversation, 15 minutes. I try to set up the appointment and it doesn't get set. So, okay, I'll reach out to you in a couple of days, and then nothing. Email him, nothing,
And what do people say? Like, what would you say is the most common thing you hear when people say, yeah, I don't think he's getting back to me because of, what do you think is most common what they say?
In my industry, they probably have another agent that they know. Or his brother's nephew just got his license and they're going to go with him. And there's objections to handle all that kind of stuff. But that's the most common is he's not calling me back because he probably knows another real estate agent. But that thought is only in that person's head. I'm thinking,
I can ask. Yeah.
Maybe his cell phone died and he never got the message. Until I hear from him, I'm going with somebody else. I have to assume that he wants to hire me. He just doesn't know it yet, because that's my job, right? Is to show him how I do business, what I do, and how it's going to get him the most amount of money, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Have you ever had a situation where, you've gotten a commitment from, say, a spouse, but then it come to find out later on that the other spouse wasn't on board? Have you ever had something like that?
It happens, and it happened more in the beginning when I was first starting and I didn't know about dower rights and all these other things. But now I make sure that when I go for my meeting, all decision makers are going to be there, right?
Absolutely. So give me an example of how you do that. Like, do you have like a standard way of doing it, or do you just kind of go with the flow? How do you do that?
Okay, so yeah, if I'm talking to somebody, they call me, or I'm cold calling, I'm prospecting. Hey, I was wondering if you're thinking about selling your home. They say yes, and I get some questions answered, and I say, okay, well, I have a Saturday at 11 a.m. available for a 20-minute free consultation. Would that work for you? Fantastic. Are you the only owner of the house? No, my husband's an owner. Oh, okay, is he going to be able to be there too? Because he's a decision maker. Is there anybody else that would be a decision maker in this process? Because we want to have them there. Yeah. So everybody's on board, right? So that's how I handle that. I ask before I go on the appointment, are all the decision makers going to be there?
Awesome. That's wonderful. I love that. Just being straight with them on that. Grant also has another one that he encourages people to use where you're just asking, hey, is there anybody else you would like to take a look at this if you were to make a decision? Just
Absolutely.
they might not be a decision maker, but they might want somebody, whether it's an uncle or an aunt or a grandma or somebody to take a look at it before they made the decision. Have you ever had something like that where somebody's involved, but they're not the decision maker?
Well, yes, like, and because I'm selling, if you're selling a product, that's one thing. But if you're selling a house, the people whose names are on the deed are the ones that have to sign the contracts. But
Sure.
a lot of times, and I'm doing it right now. The parents passed away. The two daughters are the power of attorneys, so they're hiring me to sell the house. And thankfully, the two sisters are getting along. But sometimes, if one child is the power of attorney and the other one's not, and the one who's not is trying to direct the power of attorney person, it can get like kind of hairy,
Yeah,
so I have to come in and
wow.
emotionally counsel these people and get them back down to earth, bring them the truth and what we're looking at and how we're going to resolve this problem together to get you the end result you're looking for.
That's a great example. That's a great real life example of what Grant talks about in the training about the instability being the reason why people aren't buying from you is internally within their own, within their own walls, within their own families, their own organizations, they're having this instability that in this situation, about it, you can see it, right? But sometimes you can't. But what Grant says to do in those situations is exactly what you just pointed out, is to be that stable person, to be there to help guide them through and to be the one that doesn't lose your head, essentially, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm going through a transaction right now. It's a divorce. It's messy. They don't like each other, but they got to get the house sold because they're behind on their mortgage. So I just got it under contract yesterday, but the fighting going between them, and I say I have to get them together and say we have to focus on getting your house sold. This is what I do. I need your cooperation. You hired me to do this for you. So let's go for. I'm calm, cool, and collective. They're over here fighting at each other, and I'm just staying calm, cool, and collective because I'm the rock of the transaction.
Absolutely. So there's that piece, and then the piece you said earlier, which I think is great, is you were saying, look, I don't know if the guy just lost signal on his cell phone. I don't know if he lost his cell phone and doesn't have my number to get back to me, right? Like you might not know the reason why they're not doing business with you right now. So the important thing is to be there when they do, get back to you, or they're able to get back with you, or maybe you get in touch with them over social or something like that, and understand what they're going through, right? So like that's two things that we knock those out of the park pretty quick as far as understanding the instability, and as well as, hey, they might just have a bigger issue right now that has nothing to do with you.
Right. Yeah. But they'll forget about you.
That's right.
If they're going through, if they're having a bad week, their tire went flat on the highway, and they're not thinking about anything to do with me. But once things settle down over the weekend, he needs to refocus. On Monday morning, I'm going to drop him a text. Hey, hope you had a great weekend. If there's anything I can do to help, just let me know. Is there any information I can get you? And have my branding on there reminding him. And then maybe if you don't hear from him, do it again on Friday. Yeah. And then just like, if they're in your funnel, if they're in your pipeline, you have to at least be reaching out once a week during that beginning phase.
No, absolutely. So let's transition that a little bit, because I just had a conversation with someone that is, in their realtor, and they're really trying to pinpoint what they can do to, increase their income and things like that, right? And you're touching on something that I believe is closely aligned. And Grant talks about this in his prospecting modules, which we're going to be doing the 3-day challenge on very soon, September 14th, 15th, and 16th, on helping people apply the steps from Grant's training to their situation so they can increase their leads, right? So if you want to jump on that, the phone number is 410-357-6205. Just text yes, Y-E-S to 410-357-6205. We'll get you the info. We'll get you on that challenge. It's free. We just really want to help people blow up their pipelines with this. But with this realtor that I was talking with, we were talking about, hey, identifying targets, identifying the places, the things that you want to do, and then getting involved and staying involved, getting frequent, finding ways to get in touch and get in contact so that they can know you, who you are and what you can do for them. So you're talking about follow-up, right? Okay, somebody said, I'm interested in buying my house. I'm listing it with you, but now you're like, got to stay with them, right? That's follow-up. That is a very big deal in sales. And it's very well known, I feel like, by most people, like, oh yeah, I got to follow up, right? First of all, they don't know, most folks underestimate how much follow-up. They're not too sure how to follow up besides making a phone call and email saying, hey, you ready to do business, right? But the other piece of it is prospecting. I don't think a lot of people apply follow-up, the idea of follow-up, to the idea of prospecting. Does that make sense?
It sure does, yeah.
Okay, so like when you're trying to get known and you're trying to get listings, and say there's, do you have any properties that you would love? Like, man, if this could be my number, if I could sell this, if I could get that listing, that'd be awesome. Do you have any?
Oh yeah.
So the thing is with that's your, your gem, your hidden gem that you'd love to list, right? So like, how do you get known by the people that, like you said, that are on the deed that can sign the paper? How do you get known by them? And then how do you engage with them in a way to say, hey, can I bring you an offer? Right. What are you doing for stuff like that? What do you do for prospecting? What are you doing right now?
Okay, so how I get most of my leads are, I have a triple line dialer that I can load in contacts. So if I sell a house in a neighborhood, I could draw a 3-mile radius around that house, load it all up in the dialer, 3 dials at a time. I hit start, and I'm doing that for like 2 hours every day. And it's, hi, my name is Ryan. I'm a local real estate agent. I just sold a home around the corner from you. We had 5 offers. Only 1 was chosen. So that means 4 of the people really want to move into this neighborhood. With the market being so hot, I was wondering if you guys might be thinking of selling your house. And it's so non-confrontational. It's the best script ever. And you're going to get a yes or a no.
Yeah.
So if it's a no, okay, do you have any plans of moving ever? Okay, and then they say, oh, once Jill graduates high school, we're going to be moving. Oh, fantastic. Where are you guys moving to? And then you ask a series of questions, build rapport, build a relationship, set an appointment. If they say yes, oh my gosh, congratulations. Where are you moving to? Right? And it's, you ask where are you moving to first, because it's about the client. The client, let them tell you. You ask questions and listen. And now they're a prospect that you've gotten into your funnel. Now you got to get a follow-up system in place. So
absolutely.
That's how I do it. I circle prospect on the telephone. I call expired leads and for sale by owner leads. And that's how I get a lot of my listings. Now the circle prospecting, I think about it as I can build future business, because those people that are going to be moving in 2 years, it's my job to mail them something every month and send them a card and stop by and introduce myself. So when they're ready in 2 years, there's no question who they're listing. It's me.
Yeah.
Because I am their real estate agent, and I just created it out of nothing.
You're the rock. You're there, right?
That's it, man.
So I want to point this out, that I noticed, like, first thing you went to was the phone. And I feel like nowadays a lot of people, they know the phone is great, but they hate the phone, right? Like, we call it call reluctance, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, even Grant talks about this. He's like, the phone is the fastest, most cost-effective, most efficient way to get in communication with people and to get out of obscurity and get known. So like, it's amazing how the phone has continued in even though technology has changed, the phone has continued to be like the way to like get in touch with people and to get known and to do business with folks. So besides the phone, so I just want to point that out. Like, I noticed the first thing you went to was the phone, right? And that's awesome. So here's the other thing. Besides the phone, what else are you doing? What else do you do? What do you recommend to people to do to try to like just get known in their communities as the person to go to if you want to sell your house?
Yeah, that's awesome. So get past client testimonials, or I'm working on, I haven't done it yet, but a video of my client telling and giving me a 5-star review. And that third party validation is huge. In any sales thing, a third party validation will set you apart. So if you can get that on your social media, or I wouldn't say go spend money on leads, or don't spend $3,000 on sending out postcards. Like to me, that isn't my thing, but maybe some people have success with it. But
Sure.
Like Grant says, there's no money in the drive. So if you're driving around doing this stuff, it works for some people, but you can get involved with your chamber of commerce of your city and go to the meetings and introduce yourself. And that's like a free B2B type scenario. Or you can get involved with business to business groups, are great for real estate agents and referral networks. But I like to use Facebook, social media, and Boost and Blast. And I hired a company to make my website now so people can get their home values. So I'm pushing that out into, I'm learning about the Google IDX and all this other stuff. So, that's like mind blowing, but it's easier for me. Instead of learning it, I just hired a company to do it. And I'm starting to get results now. People are going on my website, typing in their home, and that's a lead. Somebody's interested in selling their home. Like, you know what I mean? So that social media and the telephone to me it covers everybody from their 20s, and the telephone gets the people in their 80s,
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Well, thanks, Ryan. I appreciate you sharing all that information. Hey, if somebody wants to reach out to you, I know we talked about it right in the beginning, but can you recap what's the best way to get a hold of you? In case somebody has more questions about not only how to blow up their own realtor business, but how to prospect more, how to be more efficient, or even how to get some cash flow. Because I know you got some businesses going with some investments. We talked about
absolutely,
right? What's the best way to get in touch with you?
Best way to get a hold of me is a cell phone, 440-343-2515. You can go to theakronhomepro.com. or find me on any of the social medias. Type into Google Ryan Tompot Real Estate Agent, and my stuff will pop up. Hit a button and get a hold of me. I'm here to help. I'm really excited about the challenge that we're doing. I hope a lot of people take advantage of it. It's free, and I'm going to be giving great tips and tricks on getting people to stay on the phone with you, or the fear of the phone is a myth. I'll help you bust that. And once you know what to say, getting on the phone is it's fun. It sucks sometimes, but like you got to make it fun. I mess with people all the time. I really do.
Well, thanks, Ryan. Ryan, it's been great. We've been doing this a few times now, and I always enjoy talking with you and hearing from somebody that's in the field in Ohio doing the real estate game as long as you have, and knowing Grant's training and how you're applying it. And it's been really good to talk with you. So I appreciate you jumping on with me every day live at 5:05 Eastern time. Hey, so catch us. We won't be on tomorrow. We got some other things going on, but we'll send out. We'll get on here some more and do some more live shows. And we got this free challenge coming up, so check that out. All right, Ryan. Got any thoughts?
I mean, just get out there and crush it. Like, you're the only one stopping yourself from getting what you want. It's a limited belief. Push through the noise and get what you deserve.
100% agree. All right, y'all. Have a great night. Have a good weekend.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Yeah.